Yes, yes, yes. Back again for another episode.
Let's get
I
it.
am, yeah, I am artist, aka Big Speaker.
G White. Let's get it.
Yeah, so I feel good today. I think the last live session went very, very well. A lot of people tuning in.
Yeah, man. I think we had some good conversation. I think everybody that got in there got their questions answered. And I mean, it was cool. It was very successful. I think right now it's probably at, I mean, if you want to grade it upon views, right? I mean, it's probably like 1.2 thousand views, 1.3. You know, I mean, it's climbing itself up. So, you know, that's dope for your first live, you know.
Yeah. Hopefully the thing about them messages is people get it. So
Facts.
I just want people to get the message. Especially when I hear people say they let their kids listen to it. See, that's why we got to keep this podcast. I want everybody to be able to hear this. I need my
Right,
kids to watch it, your kids.
right,
There's
right.
no, so yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Um,
slip up a little bit and say some things, but no, we're gonna keep it where it's at.
Sometimes
We
it's
do this.
needed though, and it ain't gonna be nothing too crazy, you know. So gonna be
Yeah.
nothing too crazy, but yeah. So today, if you don't see the scroll down there, the ticker, today's topic is you can grow and still stay true to yourself. Definitely something that over the years growing up and trying to understand how do we just be better, I'd say better in society, right? Better, how do we do things, keep our culture with us, but how do we make these changes? It's tough. It's
It's
tough.
tough, but it's tough, but it's necessary. It's
Yep.
tough, but it's necessary. Um, Something about you has to change in order for you to get to where you want to be,
Absolutely.
right? Because if you were exactly who you wanted to be and you were perfect and 100% uh evolved and everything you want to be, you would have no goal to go towards. You would have nothing to obtain. You would already be there. So if you're telling yourself you want to go do something, there's obviously some steps you have to take in order to get there. And you know,
Yep.
you got to change some things about yourself. And we're gonna get into it. We got some good dialogue, some
For
things
sure.
we can go back and forth on, some good examples, some things people can apply to them to their lives on this particular topic right here. So I'm looking forward to getting into it.
Yes, sir. Let's go ahead and get this going right here though. You know what it is. The IOU moment. this this
Yeah.
this moment right here is so beneficial because I know a lot of people like to see this just because this is what we think you need to succeed at anything you're doing. So I love these moments. G White.
All right, bet. Yeah, man. The IOU moments. There's a high value in the IOU moment.
High value.
And this one particular hits home for me, and it's gonna hit home for a lot of people. I'm sure you can relate, bro, and a lot of people gonna be able to relate. Keeping that chip on your shoulder. I can remember early on in my career, and I'm gonna just start with the career, and I'm gonna go back and forth on the roots of it and everything else, and then you all can connect the dots. But I remember early on in my career, you know, other managers or leaders, like, hey, get that chip off your shoulder, take that chip off your shoulder. I only heard
Yeah.
that when I was challenging someone about something that I felt like maybe they could do better, or
Yep.
maybe that they were handling me in a way that I didn't appreciate. Right. So then it's like he's got a chip on his shoulder. And I will say this, that that chip that's on your shoulder is going to take you far. That chip on your shoulder, when they knock you down or life knocks you down and you're doubting yourself and everybody around you is doubting yourself, that chip is one of the things that's going to get you back up, because that chip is who you are. That chip is
Absolutely.
with you when you didn't have nothing, bro.
Absolutely.
That it factor about yourself, don't change that it factor about yourself for anyone, especially when it's worked and delivered you from some type of circumstance and helped you evolve and grow yourself, because only you know your true journey. People may meet you at work, but you know how and what you had to do to even be able to get there, or to start your business, or to even be able to do anything for yourself. So you're going to get people that tell you to knock that chip off your shoulder. And that's your it factor. Don't lose that, because again, if you got nothing else, that right there will get you back on track when you find yourself knocked down, fumbling, and unsure of how to get back to yourself and who you knew you were, or the best version of yourself. That same chip that they want you to remove, nah. If
Yep.
anything, get another chip, get 2 chips, get 3 chips, get a whole bag of chips and keep them there,
Yeah.
because that's what's going to take you and be your guiding light.
Rap snacks. Yes, sir. And then my IOU moment, don't chase money. Instead, look for value and influence.
Mm,
And what I want to say about this is that, as we out here trying to get to the bag, get the money, we have to understand that the more you chase money, the more you might find yourself digging a hole. So you know what they say, when you're in the hole, don't keep digging. Don't keep digging yourself a hole. And what I mean by that is that you might be at one company and you feeling uneasy about, the job. You might want to make an extra few dollars here or there, and there's nothing wrong with that, but understand that when you do make the move to whatever new role that you take, you have to make sure that you will be able to equip yourself not just with an increase in salary, increase in dollars per hour, but increase in the knowledge that you'll learn, increase in the people that you'll be able to work with and get along with. Whenever I get a new job or I start a new endeavor, I always pray for, I don't just pray for the chips. I pray for good relationships, because
right,
that's going to make or break you. And this is why this leads into value and influence, because if you have great relationships with people, your influence is infinite. Influence is actually better than money. How many of y'all know, if you got clout, you walk in the club, or like I go to the Astros game, I've been there so much. These people come over and hand me baseballs. You see what I'm saying? That's influence. I'm not paying for that, right? So what I'm saying is influence can get you further than money can, believe it or not. And the same thing with value. I don't want this podcast to just be about finding the job, but I know that's where a lot of us have to start. But find you some value too. You are very creative and you need to use that creativity to your advantage. And when you do create creativity, create something that has value, that's going to give back, that's going to make lasting impressions on legacies. That's value and influence. And I think if you can get both of those, you in the game. You in the game.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, for sure, bro.
so
That's,
so that's how we gonna
I
start it
like.
off. Let's go. Yeah. So yeah,
Yes,
that
sir. Let's get it.
I know I know a lot of people think of that. When I first heard of that influence terminology used in that sense, I start thinking like, that's clout. That's what
That is.
clout is. That's why so many people reach for it. It's powerful. So we got if we start, and I'm not saying just do things for clout, but you can create your own clout by creating value. See, you create the value first and you get the clout. See what I'm saying?
Right.
And then everything else just falls in line. So Absolutely. So yeah, today the topic is, you know, about this topic that we have is you can grow and still stay true to yourself, right? So the first
Right.
thing we want to talk about in this is appearance.
Yeah. So um, it's this one again, man, like many topics, I'm able to kind of look at me and you and and kind of remember everything as far as we talk
Yep.
about growth and still staying true to ourselves. Um, we still are who we are, right? I'm still G White. You still sweets. By the way, that's the nickname, man. I tried it, man. I tried it.
Give
Hey,
my respect.
hey, man. Hey. But but when it came down to it, we're still true to ourselves. But there was some growth, and it started with our appearance. It definitely started with our appearance.
Yeah.
Um, we evolved over time, and again, it doesn't just because the certain things that we changed about ourselves or that doesn't mean that's exactly what you need to change about yourself, right? And it happened over time. It naturally happened, right? Like as far as we can start by wearing clothes that fit, something
Yeah.
that simple. Go through that over baggy stage to, we ain't go skin tight, but we just started wearing clothes that actually are like our size, like they
Call
fit.
it a step away from tailored.
Right, right. And some stuff is tailored, but that took
Yeah.
time to even get to it took time to even get to that stage of it. But I remember us with the extra baggy stuff on, It could be a small thing like you don't wear belts to wearing a belt. It can be a small thing as cutting your hair, keeping your face
Yep.
shaved, or you know, um diversifying your shoe game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, we got plenty of sneakers, but I got loafers too. I got dress shoes, things of that nature. Just your appearance because it is a real thing. It is a real thing, unfortunately, that people grade you from the outside in. Um, and
Facts.
again, you talking to two guys that, you know, we got full sleeve tattoos. I probably got close to 30 tattoos, but my sleeves and stuff hang out the most in corporate America, right? So, I mean, there's certain things we've changed about ourselves, but I mean, bro, we can with the appearance, like I said, whether it's how you dress, how you carry yourself, um, your hygiene, which is obviously haircut, shaves, and things of that nature. Um, Look at us now. I mean, we always rock our jewelry. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, let me ask you this. Let you touch on a couple of things you've experienced and kind of go
Hmm.
back and forth with your jewelry because I know. Look, before
Yeah.
you get into it, because I know me. I know people like, man, Greg always rocking this little bitty cross. My dad gave me this cross in sixth grade and I just keep up with stuff like that. You know what I mean? Now, I got a couple other chains, but for the most part, you're gonna catch me with this cross. Me and this cross done been through a lot. It's my little thing, and I'm as simple as this cross is right here. It's crazy that at certain times in corporate America, I've tucked it or took it off, or I felt
Yep.
like it might offend somebody, and I had to really let that part of it go. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But that's just trying to be a perfectionist and trying not to fail and trying to still figure yourself out in this corporate game that I found myself doing certain things like that. But go ahead, man. Talk a little bit
Yeah.
about it because I know you got some things to say.
Yeah. So one of my things about appearances is that you're gonna always be interviewed. Don't ever think that, you know, you go somewhere and if you go to a ball game, if you go to the grocery store, if you bump into another business person, your interview starts the moment y'all start talking.
Right.
Period. That's a fact. And I can give you an example. So, as I said, I like to go to the Astros games. And where I sit, I like to see the game. I like to be up close and personal. So, I've sat behind home plate, underneath the stadium where they got the restaurant. And my point is, I've sat close. And the reason why I'm saying this is because when you sit that close, NBA games, wherever, you're gonna be sitting next to some people who presidents of companies, CEOs on this, yada yada, TO. different people you see. And when I go to the games, I wear my chains, right? And immediately people look at me, they either think I'm a rapper or a sports player. That's default for us minorities, right? And
Facts.
I open my mouth, and then they get a whole different perception of my vocabulary, I guess, how I, say my words and things like that. But the thing is that I had this one experience where I met the guy. He was a president over the company that does they provide all the technology for the theaters. So any technology you see at the theaters, this guy's the president for it. And me and Chelsea sitting down, and I get me a refreshment, and then he started talking to me, right? So he's like, "What do you do for a living?" Not what do you do for a living? Cybersecurity. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Because the only reason why he asked me what do I do for a living is because of my chains. I know that. I done been through this road before. Let's go. This ain't my first rodeo. I know what the next question is. Okay. How long you been doing that? X amount of years. Okay. Now where'd you go to school? Okay. He checking my temperature the whole
Ooh.
he checking my temperature this whole time, right? Okay. So I tell him everything. So now he's comfortable with me now. Mind you, I didn't tell you the race because it doesn't matter. But he's comfortable with me now. Okay. Now the thing about it is that me being me, I want to make the net. I told y'all about networking, right? I want to make the connection. So the next thing you're supposed to do is stay in touch with that person, right? You exchange contact information with that person. I got his number, he got mine. I followed up on it. I called him. He didn't answer. Didn't call me back. Nothing. It's just like I never met him. And my theory about that is that, you know, his significant other was with him. I think that when I first went through this, I told Chelsea, I was like, I'm not wearing my chains no more. Matter of fact, I'm about to make sure when I go out, I'm gonna have at least a blazer on or something, a sports coat, button up, because I'm sick of being judged every time I meet these people who I can connect with possibly and do some big business with, right? So I was like, I'm gonna just go out and just make sure I'm spiffy every time. I'm ready at all times. And then, I talked to you about this, Greg, and I
Yeah.
said I was going like just putting my chains up. I took my earrings out. I took like even like stuff like gold frames in your glasses, like because it pops, right? My watch, my gold watch. Like we used to talk about not wanting to wear our sleeves out while we at the job.
Definitely.
90 degrees, we wearing long sleeve shirts and then I just sat and thought one day, I was like, you know what? I'm actually doing a disservice to my people. And I'm trying to let you understand this because I'm doing a disservice because I guess we got to get into this. The people who really hold the power in those higher positions, we know what race they are. They are afraid to talk to people like me right now, like what I'm wearing right now, fitted the hat, my chain. I
Yes.
put my chains on for this video. My chains, my tattoos. I look like a thug to them. And I'm yeah, a thug. And so they're afraid to talk to us. So instead of me changing my appearance, no, I go to them and I want them to see me like this. I want them to see me in my culture because this is who I am. But what I'm trying to do is, and I'm going to do, and I have done, I've made them change their understanding of us because, yeah, he dresses like that. Artist dresses like that. He just likes gold. Talk to him. He's a great person. He actually knows a lot. He's pretty sharp. He can help our business grow. Yes. And guess what? It's a million more of me out there that dress just
Mhm.
like I used to tell people all the time, like, man, don't wear that, don't do that because this is that, this and that. But frankly, all you gotta do is be yourself. And the thing is, if that person doesn't like it, don't change who you are because you're not what you wearing and the things you're doing, that doesn't dictate you. I'm not saying going to interview with chains on and things like that, dress for the occasion, but you don't have to just change your whole lifestyle just to fit in. Never fit in, but understand there's a time and a place and a purpose for everything.
Right. And to piggyback off of that, a few of the things you just said, bro. Um, the thing is, know your audience, right? We talked
Yep.
about that, knowing your audience. Like you said, I'm going to interview all chained out,
Yep.
scruffy, whatever else, whatever you're doing, dress for the occasion, put your best foot forward. But what we're talking about is, in simplest terms, how will they ever respect us or get to know us or how to interact with us when we're trying to be like them?
Yes.
You will
You
never
can't.
get to know me as long as I'm trying to be like you or the next person or the next person or the next person. And I've seen that. I swear I've seen that. And it's no fault because we all trying. We
Yep.
know people that look like us had a little bit of a slower start, a lot
We're
of bit of a
rough around
slower
the
start.
edges. We
And we
rough
trying to
around the
catch up
edges.
and
Yeah.
figure this thing out. And most of us are first timers for a lot of the rooms that we're in or in the roles that we have, and first generations with a lot of things. So we don't have a lot of the things that certain people are brought up with, and we have to learn to obtain them through trial and error and trial by
Yep.
fire. So what I'm saying is we're trying to do the best we can, but at times I had to tell. I remember I had a young brother, and that's crazy. I say a young brother, but
Yeah.
said they was younger than me, and he started in the job, and I had to pull him to the side, and I mean he was around there with Uncle Tommy for real by definition, and he was trying, smart, talented, everything, checked all the boxes and then some, and I had to tell him, hey, you don't got to do all that, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to do all that. And because at the end of the day, you can still do all that. And the one thing that really makes people uncomfortable is the thing you can't change, right? And that's
Yep.
probably your skin. So
Yep.
if you ain't, if you can't change your skin, like like some famous people that did or whatever else, then you're still gonna do that. So the thing to do is to refocus that, right? You're gonna get to know me. You're gonna get to learn me for who exactly I am. So there's I tell people all the time, right? There's no secret. I'm the only African American at my job. Um, and there's nothing that saying I won't say that, yes, there's something wrong with that or whatever, but that's I look at it like it's my chance and opportunity, and I
Yeah.
wear it well. But what I'm saying is that um in corporate America, when I'm dealing with this stuff, I'm honest. I know that there's some differences in between me and maybe some coworkers or some different people, and I look at that opportunities for me to grow as a person, right? Because I told you the dynamic that we grew up around was heavily Black and Hispanic, right? So if it's someone else from another nationality, I look at that like an opportunity to grow, but in order and learn from each other. So if I don't know an artist that they're talking about when they're referring to a song that they grew up listening to, I'm the first person to say, I never heard that song or that artist. Let me hear some of their stuff. Let me see what that is. But I'm not gonna say, oh, I know what that is.
Yeah. Ain't
That
no
was my
fitting in. No.
my
Yeah.
grandmother used to listen to that song when she cooked me breakfast. No, I never
Yeah.
heard that song. I don't know what you talking about. I never been to that 4-H
Keep it P.
thing down at the fairgrounds, or I never been to the covered bridge festivals and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that, right? So now I can learn it and educate me on it, right? But that's the same thing with me too, right? So I'm it's okay for us to say the normal stuff, right? To be able to explain what you put on your Thanksgiving dinner table and not feel
Yeah.
bad about it or whatever. Because at the end of the day, especially when we're talking about just work, if we're just talking about work, it comes down to can you do the job?
Yeah.
It shouldn't matter if I got one tattoo, two tattoos, 25 tattoos. It should not matter, right? It shouldn't matter if I got one chain, two chain, three chains, tuck, not tuck. That shouldn't matter. As long as Greg is the best at what we're hiring him to do, my skill set should be the only thing you're grading me on, right? Because just like you said, Question number one when people meet me is, what you do for a living?
What you do?
What you do for a living? What you do for a living? And I be sitting there like, out of all these people in these rooms, you gonna ask me that? Or I might have a
Translation is how you get here.
how you get
How
here,
you get here? You went through all
how
that.
you
How you get here?
how you get here, how you become my neighbor. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? How you get this car? You know, it's always something like what you do for a living, right? And and that's the craziest thing to me, bro. But it's our appearances, and it's what I would say this for our people. It is okay to grow and to change certain things about yourself.
Yeah.
That's gotta happen, and it should happen naturally. You should not probably be dressing the same way at 30 as you was when you was 15,
Yes.
and at 50 the same way you was when you was 30. So that's gonna happen naturally, right? I'm talking about those type of things. Okay, we should do that. But what I mean is don't change so much to where when we talk about appearance, when you get in front of that mirror, you don't even know nor respect that person that you see in the mirror.
Yep. Yep.
That's what I'm talking about with appearance. And you check your own boxes. You know things you can work on, things you might need to get out of doing or
Yep.
let go, or or save for the weekend or all that, or you know those things. Only you know those things and embrace those things. But be careful of what you change, because if you keep trying to change to fit in with me, that person, that person, that person, that person, before you know it, you're not gonna know who you are anymore.
And
So,
especially when you're doing business, you're gonna do a disservice to the rest of the people that's behind you. Whenever I do something in life, on the job especially, I'm taking action and I'm speaking up for the next person behind me. I know if somebody else is gonna be behind me, I got the courage to say something. That person might not. I got to do it for them right now. So I got to say what I need to say, so they'll fix the situation. I might get the butt end of that. I'm fine with that because I've already prepared myself. But the next person gonna be straight. I promise you, that's been me my whole life. So what I'm saying on it too about appearance is that you're always going to be interviewed, but understand when you need to perform and when you can relax. On the job, when you're at somebody else's house, when you're at somebody else's company and on their turf, you got to perform. You got to do what you need to do, to abide by their rules. But when you're outside somewhere, or let's say you go to a company party. That's a classic one, right? You don't have to be all outside your body to fit in with them. No, be you, be yourself. Because my point is that if they don't like who you are, then they shouldn't be hiring you anyway. You probably ain't supposed to be there no way. You about a couple of days away from getting let out the door anyway. Anything you do, they're gonna try to can you. So just be yourself, because it's mentality, the mental health it brings. It's just it's just far better off just to be yourself, because you can never, in their eyes, whoever eyes, you're never as good because you still got that culture in you. You see what I'm saying? So
yep,
my last point about that Astros thing is that I truly believe that the dude didn't call me back or pick up the phone because after he stopped drinking and finally realized, like, wait, I just can't get over the chains and the image, and
yeah,
that's fine. That's what it is.
yeah,
I know. And that's fine.
yeah,
But I didn't need to do business with you anyway, because at some point during our course of business, you're gonna see who I am. I can't like not be myself for the duration of the relationship. It's like when you get in a relationship with somebody, the true side's gonna come out after 2 months. It's gonna come out. So just be yourself off GP. And that means off the top, you know? So yeah, that's what we got to say about appearance. Change the things that you need to change, but keep being yourself.
right,
Okay, now we into the environment.
yeah, yeah.
Woo.
So I know this is gonna be it's gonna be one of them, but we're gonna get right into it. We ain't gonna waste no time with this one.
Let me
Uh,
start. Let me start off with our story.
go ahead.
I just
Go
think this
ahead,
story is
dude.
funny, man, because it really when we talk about getting right into it, okay, we were in
Yeah.
Indianapolis, right? This is the time I was living in Indianapolis, and me and G White went out to some club. I forgot the
That was
name of
it
it.
was I think it was called Limelight or Sweet 38
Sweet
or something.
38. I
It
don't
was on
know.
30 it was on 38th Street,
It
bro.
might have been like Cloud Nine or Cloud. I don't know. Something.
I
I
think
think
it's
it's
the
like
same building
Cloud.
that done went through three different names, but it's the
Right.
same building. Right.
Anyway, all
Right.
my Naptown folks know what it is. They know. So we get there. We don't pay. We had to pay to check our coats, right? It was 10
Mhm.
each or 20 each.
That was like 10. And then we paid a dub at the door. And at the
Yeah.
time, $20 was like,
Yeah.
that's one of them things. I mean, I paid a
Okay.
dub to get in here. That
Okay.
was one of
So
them type
30. We
times.
30 in. We 30 in, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We get out, get in there, check our coats because Indiana they got coat check. It's cold outside, y'all. So we stand there, we looking, go to the bathroom. Me and him we didn't talk about this, but we on the same page. And what I mean by like-minded individuals around you. We get in there, go to the bathroom, come out, we look at each other like we see somebody walk past with a long white tee. Bro, we gotta get out of here. We both said that to each other, like, what are we
Bro,
doing here? What are
bro,
we doing?
it felt like there was a lot of feelings in that, right? Um, Nobody in there had on stuff that we hadn't seen before. It's just one, when we first came to Indianapolis, the culture was kind of to us kind of behind stuff we stopped wearing. So that
Yeah.
was kind of funny, right? It was like, dang, we ain't wore tall tees in a while, or dang, we
But it
ain't,
was
what I mean?
hood in there. It was hood in
Nah,
there,
it
though.
was hood, super hood,
Like,
and it just felt like we had been delivered from that mindset of being comfortable in
yes,
those
the growth.
situations.
Yes.
And these are environments where we
Thrived. Like,
thrived in. But it just felt like, and it's crazy because I felt it, but I ain't say nothing to him. And he was feeling it, ain't say nothing to me. But when we said it to each other, I'm like, dog, you read my mind. Let's get up out of here, man. Let's go.
long story
And
short,
the
go
lady
ahead.
was like, what she
The
say,
coat check
sweetie?
lady. She said,
The coach,
y'all leaving already? Y'all just checked in y'all coats. Yeah, we
give me
gotta
my
go.
coat. We out.
We out of here. We
Give my
left
coat.
that
We
place.
out.
We was in there less than 10 minutes. Paid. We $30 in each.
Cause she said it.
$60.
She said it. She said, y'all ain't gonna get y'all money back. Keep it. I'm out.
Keep it. Gotta
Cool.
go.
Cool.
That's what leads into this topic environment. Go ahead.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like you just said, that's just one story, right? And that's when we were together. He's got times, I got times we were separate, but I'm saying when you're growing and evolving and bettering yourself and things of that nature, XYZ, there's certain places you just can't go anymore.
Can't. You gotta
You
understand
can't go
that.
there no more. You can't. And it's like, so if you hear some of these famous stories, right, of people that done died, some of these famous artists and stuff like that, or whatever, I know you've seen a couple, you're like, why was that person even there? Why was that person even there? Because they still feel obligated to go back into certain situations that they know they have no business there. You're not regular anymore,
No, you're
right? You're
not.
not the same person you once were. Those people don't even look at you the same way that they used to look at you,
You don't even
right?
understand how to you don't even
Move in that
understand how the
world.
environment works anymore.
So
Like you
boom,
out of
so
touch.
boom, so boom. Let's talk about out of touch and let's talk about environment. We grew up in the hood. We ain't as hood as we used to be, right? I moved away from home in 2007 when I graduated high school. And what I'm saying is this: my lingo may be off. I may be using old slang. I don't
Yeah.
know the same people no more. Some of the kids that was kids done grew up and look different, or people done moved in from different places. The whole environment done changed. I'm out of the mix.
Out of the
I'm
mix.
out of the, I'm out of the mix. I'm not somebody you see every day or nothing. So you know what I mean. So it's just all a part of, like, it just naturally happened. But I'm very mindful of the environments that I put myself in because of the life that I've built for myself. So it's not like, oh, a simple mind might say, man, y'all some scary guys.
Yeah.
You can go wherever you want. The only thing that I'm really scared of is
Facts.
losing everything that I've built.
Everything you work for. That's a real thing to be scared
Everything
of.
that I am terrified of that because I knew what it take. I knew what it took, what it takes, and where I'm going with this thing, and to jeopardize that because I want to go and I won't even we don't even do the same stuff we used to do in certain environments. You kind of get what I'm saying? So what are we going
Concerts. Let's
for?
talk. Let's talk about concerts. So we gonna get into this. We gonna get into this
Yeah,
later, a little bit later.
yeah,
But like,
yeah. Certain the environments, bro. The environments is crazy. The environment, what you surround yourself around, who you surround yourself with. There's been plenty of times I come to your house in Houston. We kick it at the crib. We have a good time. If we want to pour up something, we pour up something. If we want to laugh and joke and party outside, we play some music. You get on the grill. We making tacos. We do it. And the
yeah,
same thing when you come to my house. But what I'm saying is, I've become one of those people that I like to bring the party to me versus go to the party, you know,
you
and
control your environment.
control my environment. Control my environment. Tell somebody, hey man, pull up on me before y'all go out there because I ain't going over there. But you can stop by here for a little
Yeah,
bit. You can pregame over here with me, or you can hang with me, or we can kick it at my house and we can play some space, or we can do whatever you want to do here. But and I will pop out on occasion, just certain
yeah.
environments, certain clubs, right? So if I'm gonna go to a bar or a club or a lounge, it won't be the same caliber of the ones I used to go to.
We
I,
just
I
talk.
just I won't. It don't even. It doesn't feel the same. It's not the same.
Yeah,
I'm out of the mix. I'm out of the mix, and it becomes it's risky business. It's
risky.
risky
Yep.
business. It's very risky business. You know what I mean? Your
This
environment is key.
this is what I'll say. But I was gonna bring up the word risky. Is that here's my thing about it is that yes, you can get into an altercation anywhere, right? Things can happen at any time. We're not saying that you're gonna decrease your chances of this happening by uh just because you stayed at home or whatever. What I'm saying is that your risk is at an exponentially higher category when you go somewhere that already has that thing there. The whatever variable that is there that needs to happen is there at that place. That's all we saying. So when you're thinking about going different places, first of all, if you're thinking that I gotta bring that strap in, I got don't go. If you feeling that, and this is my thing about the hood. Like I don't know nobody at the hood no more. No, nobody. My people ain't. It's very few. A lot of people I don't know. Um, I'm just out of touch with it. And then the thing is that if I go back, you know what I'm saying, go back to the hood, um, I don't know who is who doing what. I just don't know. I don't know what I don't know. Right? You feel what I'm saying? Last I can check, I've been in Texas, whatever. I hear this person had something happened to them, something happened to them. I just know that certain environments can pose a risk to you unintentionally. Just for you being in the area. It's just wrong place, wrong time. So, certain places, that's what we're saying about this is that this whole thing is about you can grow but still keep your identity. So, how I'm gonna pull this environment thing is that I'll give you an example when like cuz Renice, Roy, they come
Mm-hmm.
here, whatever, they want to get in tune, right? Cuz they want to get in tune. And they probably know me. I'm kind of reserved on certain areas that we go. And I think they respect that. But like at the same time, I choose and pick where I want to go. And then some of the times I'm like, I'm going in with them. Cuz them ain't they I ain't seen them. They want to go to this. I'm going. But when I'm in there, this is the difference. If we go to a club that I'm kind of like, all right, I'm saying, okay, if we go in here, we got to get a section. We ain't bumping shoulders with nobody.
Yeah.
First things first. We not because that's where all the riffraff. Next thing is what time we going because I'm not parking lot pimping. I'm in
You
the
get up out
spot
of
where I need to be and I'm proper
there.
with it with a section.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I do it. And if we can't do that, I can't go. And most time we got a section. So you see what I'm saying? So it's just if you are, and that's what I mean. I'm growth. I pick and choose where I want to go, but I don't change me. If my people want to go to a place, let's go. but we gotta do it properly. I can't be no longer. I don't
Hey,
like standing in the lines. I got to
nah,
get in. I can't call me bougie, whatever. I can't stand in your line. I'm paying extra. I'm getting in there. I'm buying a section. Bring the ice. I'm not going. I need all the treatment because I'm controlling my environment for my own
yeah,
safety.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
just it's
yeah.
just levels.
It's
And
major
there ain't no cap. That I'm like that. I just cause them know I certain places I ain't gonna go. And if we do go, section.
every time. That's
It's
meeting
that
you in the
simple.
middle, though. That's meeting you in the
Yeah.
middle. So I bet we could pop out, but
Yeah.
you get what you
Section. You
want. So
know
we'll
I'm
go. We'll go
coming.
where you want to go. But I'm telling you, we're gonna be put up. I'm gonna be over here, like you said. I'm not gonna.
Yeah. And cousin them
Nah,
already on that anyway, the section. We already, I mean, that's what
that's
I'm saying.
music
When
to the
you with
ears. Yeah,
like-minded individuals that okay, yeah, we
bet,
section, bet.
bet, bet. Look, speaking of it, before we move on, just like we was just in Vegas in June.
Yeah. Yeah.
We was in Vegas in June
Yeah.
with the guys and everything, and everybody, Vegas was Vegas, and for
Everybody did
people,
their
I'll
own
put it that
thing,
way.
really.
Everybody was doing their thing.
Yeah.
Me and you went to the Dreas or whatever, had a
Yeah.
whole little section by ourselves.
Yeah.
And people were looking like kind of like, who are y'all?
Yeah. Like we
Hey,
can't come in this joint, get a
this this
table.
is this is
Get a
making us
table and some
comfortable.
drinks.
We're comfortable
Bring
this
the
way. Yeah.
ice.
Yeah, bring
How
the
long
ice.
you
We're
gonna
comfortable.
keep talking to me? You gonna bring the ice.
Comfortable. We're gonna do what
Yeah.
we're gonna do wherever we have to be comfortable for ourselves.
And what
And if I
happened?
can't be comfortable, I don't need to be there.
And what happened? Some dude, it was two different occasions. One, and this is growth. Again, this is growth because you got on it. Actually, you almost and I was like, hold on. So this is something you don't do, proper etiquette. This guy came and was smoking a cigarette and reached over into our table in our section, put the cigarette out. Remember
Oh
that?
yeah.
And you got hot.
Yeah.
And then another dude came and brought this girl over there and was sitting in our section, like start dancing.
That was
And
cool though.
no, but look, the dude, they want to know who he was so bad. And checking on this dude came over there and was like, "Hey, you got to go, get out their section."
Yeah.
And remember, he was like, "Y'all want me to get rid of him?"
Yeah.
It was like,
No,
"Nah, man, we cool. Everybody chilling, man. Don't give him
because
something to
look,
drink too.
because
Like
look,
just like
because look,
you know,
because look, we remember being, well, I won't say exactly like that, but I know what it's like. We know what it's like to come up. And
yeah,
we from a real place. So if we got this, so the
yeah,
first dude was disrespectful for reaching
yeah.
over and
That was
putting his cigarette
disrespectful.
out in our ashtray, and we wasn't even using no ashtray. But
We ain't smoking. We don't.
you reaching over in my stuff in my section. So
It's the
either
principle.
or. So the guy, and I break this down just kind of, and I think it's a testament to who we really are. It's not no flexing or nothing like that. We real people, humble
Yeah,
guys. So the guy was there with his girl. It's another guy came up. He came up with his girl, and he was trying to show his girl a good time. Her feet probably hurt. They didn't have a section, so she
yeah,
sat down right there in our section. And I was like, looking for a second. I'm like, okay, they cool. Because it's a big section, and we're in there just me and you.
yeah,
And I see her, she trying to have a good time with her man. And I'm looking at dude, I'm like, man, bro look like a young hustler that's trying to get there. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I'm not gonna stop his shine. He out here with his lady. I want him to win tonight. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? We
Let's party.
vibing out, let them vibe out, do their thing. You know what I'm saying? So I remember saying, whispering to him, I ain't even let his lady know. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get to the man. Remember,
Yeah,
leaned over to him and told him, I was like, hey, I was like, me and my brother can't even drink all this and all that. I was like, man, this, you and your girl, man, y'all can have whatever we got going on because we can't even drink
yeah,
all this. So he was like, he looked at me, he was like, you sure? I'm like, man, bet, say
yeah,
less, do it, say less. You feel me? So
yeah. Say less.
they enjoyed themselves until they were ready to leave. He poured a drink,
Yep.
his girl poured a drink. They didn't disturb us at all. And they did their thing until they left. But again, you know what I'm saying? Before we moving on, we just had to talk to you how important your environment is. You can still laugh, have fun, turn up, be lit and
Yes.
everything, but it's levels to it.
Yep.
Understand, to be honest, of the level that you're on, the level you want to go to,
Yeah.
and be okay with that. You're gonna have to
Yes.
miss out on some things. You're gonna have to miss out, be left behind. You're gonna, you know what I'm saying? And that's okay because like that ain't for me no more. Or it's too risky. It's risky business when it comes to maybe the things that you've built for yourself. You're putting yourself at risk, and and that's okay. And that's what we were getting at. But the
Yeah.
environment is a very big thing. Major key right there, bro.
Major key. Major key. Major key. Look what just happened.
Hey,
Yeah, we right
let me,
on point, man.
let's,
Hey,
let's,
music.
let's take off. Let me take off on this one.
Oh
So the
man.
music. So the music. Let me go. Let me go. So the music. it- it's a double-edged
I heard
sword,
you was
right?
listening to country music now.
Hey, stop playing with me. Ain't nothing wrong with country music, but that's just
Ah,
I'm not
nah.
educated enough on it. I'm not educated enough on it yet, right? But I listen to all type of music. I've always been that way. But what I was getting at is, we listen to the same type of artists that we used to listen to. I'm talking even down to the newer artists out. It's a lot of new stuff I kind of like. Some stuff I
Yeah.
don't. I can't really, you know what I mean? So, but what I'm saying is the same stuff you listen to on the radio, same stuff we see on social media every day, I'm listening to and bumping in my cars and bumping in my man cave, bumping on my bike. I'm getting turned. I'm doing it all, bro. But what I'm saying
Yeah.
is, and the music and the environment tie together because most of the artists that I listen to,
Yeah. That
I
yeah.
can't even go to their concerts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if a
Except
finesse
two
two
chains. Two
if a
chains.
finesse two times, if a,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean, I'm talking about Dirk. Anybody, bro. If
Yeah.
they're performing at a decent venue that fits my standards, I can't even go. I miss most concerts.
Yeah.
Young Dolph, all of them done come through. All these famous artists that I listen to that come through, I listen to a lot of hood stuff. You know what I'm saying? Lil Baby, them come. If they're not at a good venue, a venue that I can respect or see myself in, or that I'm comfortable in, I don't go.
Yep.
I don't go. And I love the music. I sit there, know all the words word for word, but I can't go because I can't even go to that place like that. I don't that venue there. I'm in that venue that you at. We don't really
Yeah.
we don't mesh. That's just not my type of place. So like that place we talked about where we walked out of. There's a lot
Yeah.
of concerts that go there. We got NBA All Star Weekend coming to Indianapolis in a couple weeks. There's some big artists coming to there. I'm not going there. Now,
Yeah.
Two Chains, he's got a concert at the Vogue in Broad Ripple and whatever else. That's more of my speed. Or if somebody want to rent out Game Bridge where the Pacers play or something like that, that's more of my speed too. But like the little hole in the walls, bro, we done been
But
in
tell them,
two.
but understand, explain why. Explain what is the difference between the Pacer Stadium and the hole in the wall. And it really is all it's also the artist that's coming. And it's not the
Yeah,
artist's fault, but it does attract certain individuals that are more rowdier. And not to cut you off, but like Two Chain, I bring up Two Chains because his music, I'ma start a ride. That'll bring them people too. But I seen Two Chains in the concert. We was at KSU. Or was it Kentucky State? Yeah, it was Kentucky State.
yeah,
Remember
yeah.
this
When
thing?
you can, yeah, when
And
you can
somebody started
homecoming.
flying.
Yep.
He stopped the show. Some of them will stop their show and be like, "We ain't doing that. We came here to have fun." You see what I'm saying? But what is the difference? What's the dynamic between them two?
The different dynamics to me is, man, and it's sad to say, but it's honest, right? And
You gotta
I
say it,
operate.
man.
We
Say
operate
it.
from an honest. We operate from an honest
You
spot,
don't
and,
got
and it's
you,
really because we've seen it from a bird's eye view. Like, I mean, I wouldn't say a bird's eye. I'd say we've seen it first person. Like when you go
yeah,
to some of like, okay, like if it's a smaller venue, right? Then it's you run a risk, all type of more of a risk of somebody being able to sneak a gun in there. Sometimes ain't no pat downs or nothing in there, or it's certain people kind of can go there because ain't no dress code, or
yeah.
it just draws a certain particular type of crowd
Crowd.
that I know for sure is not saying it's gonna happen, but it's a high percentage that
It's
something's gonna
riskier.
pop off, and I
Yeah.
want to be way out of the way of that. Now,
Spot on.
yeah, it could happen, and yes, somebody out there gonna say,
Anywhere.
"Man, that could happen anywhere,
You're
bro.
right. You're right.
That could happen," and you
But the
absolutely right.
risk.
I'm talking about percentages. Let's look at the
Exactly.
facts here. When you look at the
Numbers.
facts and the percentages,
And
there's
do your research on that.
do your homework on it because yes, anything can happen anywhere, right? But what I'm saying, there's a greater risk of you getting bit in the butt by a dog
He always bring up this example. Dog, did you get bit in the butt by a dog when you was little?
Nah, man.
What is you on, man? What type of time you on? Nah, go ahead.
No, but I'm saying you can run a greater risk of that by hanging around dogs than you can by anything else. But either or, the people get it, you get it. It's
Yeah.
just, minimizing that. But the music is the crazy part because you can still listen to your music. And then before I turn it back to you, I'm gonna say this. I've given speeches. I laugh and joke, but I'm telling you, when it comes to business, we get very serious.
Yeah.
I've given speeches, 300 people go in for business propositions and proposals from different things, and I'm about to report out to something. And before I get out of my car, I'm in there listening to Gucci. I'm in there rocking to something. Little
If
baby
they
just
had,
dropped.
man, telling you,
Money bag. Yo, I'm talking,
baby.
I'm going crazy in there. So what
Come
I'm
on,
saying is
man.
what?
Neighborhood for me. Go ahead.
Nip, whatever. I'm on all that. What I'm saying is you can still grow, but stay true to yourself.
Yeah.
Right? So, yes, I'm not gonna walk into those type of places with it playing all loud on my phone like that or
Yeah.
super loud in my headphones all crazy so everybody else can hear it. But no, that's my food. That's what I need to get me going. Because I
Wow.
know what I've been through and I know who I really am. And I gotta stay true to
Hey.
that. So while I'm sitting in the car throwing rakes, listening to Gucci acting a
Yeah.
fool for the hood one time, I'm also
Yeah.
about to straighten up my tie
Yeah. I'm straighten them. Yeah. Yeah.
and get in there and handle that business. And when I get back out, I'm still finishing off the song I was just on. You
Listen.
can do both, y'all. You can do both. You don't
Yes.
got to be like, oh, in order for me to succeed in corporate America and before I give a good speech, I gotta listen to Elton John or I gotta
Ah.
whatever. You don't gotta do none of that because that's what maybe that because that may work for somebody that's an Elton John fan, no problem. But you ain't. You may need to listen to some R&B. You might need to listen to some rock and roll. Get on your level because again, keep that chip on your shoulder. What we talked about earlier, that's a part of that chip.
I'll tell you. Listen. The chip on your shoulder is because of that music. Use the music how you use it to fuel yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Use the music how you use it to fuel yourself. And I'm telling you that before interview, for something like playing a Nip Hustle, the neighborhood, double up, ocean views, uh, rap. You know what? Cause they said who I got to I'm mad because I got to interview anyway. I done told you the last episode I don't interview no more. What like
Yeah.
I am who I am. I know you want to check me. You still want to see. Let me see who he is. They gonna ask for this, ask for that. Yeah, I'm here. That's where I'm getting my edge from. And see, this is the thing that makes me laugh is because I know some of my partners that I grew up with. They think I'm changed. Like I promise you, I'm still the same inside. And a lot of them know that. But like I'm still like this. I know when to use it, when to put it up. I know when to
Mm-hmm.
use it. I know when to put
We
it
don't
up.
we don't lead with the same things that we once led with, right?
Exactly. You can't
We
lead with the same things that you started with.
we can't
Yeah.
lead with I can't lead the same way. The same
Yeah.
thing that the guys say to you or the guys say to me or anybody, a family member they ain't seen me well. When they get close to me, they like, you still silly as
Yeah.
you still funny. Of course.
Yeah.
You thought I didn't like to laugh no more? You think I've been a class clown my entire life. Literally, class of 2007,
Yeah.
I was the class clown. That came with a lot of problems, but that's a whole nother story for another day. But what I'm saying is, I am still that same Greg. I
Yeah.
laugh, I joke, I think stuff is funny. My kids the same way. We talk about stuff, talk about people, we act a fool.
Yeah.
But there's a time and a place for everything. And because of the growth, I can't lead with that. And to be honest with you, depending on who you are, it's depending on what version of me you
Yeah.
get.
You might not even see it if I don't rock with you
You
like
might not
that. I
even
don't.
see
Yeah.
that. You might
So
not even
yeah.
see that depending on who you are.
So two things here is that you might have thought we bring up this topic and be like, man, you can't listen to this music anymore. You can't listen to Young Boy because he's saying no. That's not what we're gonna say. In fact,
No.
we said tap into it a little bit. Don't be trying to let me clear up this one thing. These chains and what I wear, the difference is between a real artist who wears it, like Goo Wop or somebody, they can write this on off on their taxes. If you ever see a rapper or somebody wearing a name or something, that's a part of their brand. They're exposing their brand, and that's okay. Don't go broke behind trying to follow what they doing because you can't write it off unless you're an artist. Okay, so that was just a side note, some side game for you. But the other thing is that I think that if you use this music the right way and you tap into it, you can become so ferocious. Like you just like that's that monster inside you. Like, you know what I'm saying? And don't you go to a function and they listening to something else, you ain't gotta try and fit in with that. You ain't gotta you be you.
Yeah.
If you don't, you know what I'm saying? If you don't like go to where they playing what you want to hear. The other thing about this is that about that whole thing of depending on what side you see of me, you might get artists. You might get whatever the hood want to call me, tunes, sweets, whatever. Depending on who you is, and I might show you that person, right?
Right.
So,
Right.
like for example, like when Tron, I bring up Tron again because like he'll be on his HVAC job or something. He'll FaceTime me. This was early on, and he'd be talking to me like we like how we talk, but it's somebody in the background he worked with. I'm like, hold on, Tron, stop. Don't trust him. I don't
Mm-hmm.
care. I don't care if you think. I don't care if you think you know him. You only know him for about 2 months. When it hit the fan, he might use this conversation on you, and you ain't even talking to him. You talking to me. Don't I
Mm-hmm.
said that, and that's what I want to tell y'all is that depending on who you talking to, don't show your hand because they might use it against you. Just always keep it professional. Keep it P. That's
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying. Keep it P. On this side, and then on that side. Know your audience. Know who you dealing with. So, but yeah, music, man. For me, like I said, Nipsey Hussle, J. Cole, and find your person that's giving you what you need. And I ain't seen it could be anybody, babe, anybody. I mean, if they give me what I need for that moment, I'm using that as fuel.
Bro, I got a song for every mood that I'm possibly in, right? I literally got music
Yeah.
for every single mood that I can possibly be in. When I say like that, like if I want to tear up something, this is gonna trip you out. You ain't even gonna know who I'm talking about. But in wrestling, we listen to a lot of different songs in that wrestling room. and, and, and Alex, she crack up from times. Like if I'm really turned up, like I want to tear something up, I'm gonna turn on some System of Down, Chop Suey.
See, I was a hooper. I don't know what type of time you on. See, you was in that
Hey,
wrestling. You know what I'm saying?
hey,
I
I'm
don't
just
know.
saying. We was in there listening to. We were listening to stuff like that. Lil White, hey, 3 6 Mafia. We going
No, yeah,
crazy.
yeah. I
We
bet
in
you
there
Figs
listening
was
to three
listening.
six.
He'd be with you right now.
Figs,
Shout out
Figs,
Figs.
Figs know exactly
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. Everybody that wrestled know exactly what I'm talking about. What was going on in the wrestling room, and that's when I really
Yeah.
started really listening to different type of music. To be honest with you, that's why if you take, I don't really have an iPod no more. But what I'm saying is, you look into my playlist or anything, you'll be like, because music is very key. So, like you said, people thought we was gonna tell them to stop listening to their music. I'm telling you, turn your music up.
Yeah.
But but
Yeah.
no, you don't have to turn your music when to turn it up, when to turn it down. You don't have to shy away from it.
Yeah.
Still be able to conduct yourself professionally. Have that
Yeah.
switch to turn it on or off. Don't let what you listen to want to have such an influence on you where you want to go out. So like
Yeah.
I'm listening to all that trap stuff, robbing, killing, and stealing.
Yeah.
I don't want to rob, kill, steal from
Or
nobody,
nothing. Nothing.
right? But I can
Yeah.
relate to what they saying because that's the type of environment that we come up in. That's what we
Yeah.
kind of cut from. I don't do that stuff, but I can relate. So it's not like I can relate to that more than I can relate to somebody saying, I got a yacht, my grandfather got a yacht, my great
Yeah.
grandfather
We
had a
ain't
yacht,
yeah.
and we're cruising in the sea. I don't know nothing about that,
See,
right?
that's how it was when I was at Butler. Like we in the
Yeah.
weight room. It's just straight cunt straight, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't try to fit in. I never did. I just went on by what I was doing. They was playing that. I mean, and I went back to my dorm wherever on my headphones and I got what I got, you know? That's so what we're saying about this is leading into this right here. The key takeaway.
Yeah. You
You
can
can
become a better
become
go ahead,
go
bro.
ahead, go ahead, go ahead. No, you
No,
go
I was
ahead.
just gonna say you can become a better version of yourself and maintain your identity.
Yeah. That's just that simple. And that's the reason why we brought up appearance, your environment, and your music, because we know where we from. Those three things are like key. It's going this our appearance that we going this is how we is. Our environment made us who he is, and it has a direct reflection on our appearance and our music. That's what's fueling us. That's how we come out. All our culturally, music has been the thing that's kept us afloat. Like
Yeah,
just kept us going, pushing. And I think
yeah.
that keep those things foundational. You can still become a better person. Just keep
And
everything foundational.
and again, it's easier to do this when you surround yourself. It all is comes
Yeah,
in full circle. Surround yourself with people that's practicing the same thing, and before
same
you know it,
thing.
it's gonna become second nature to you and your entire crew,
Yep.
right? Like, and I would say I see that with me and you, right? We'll laugh, joke, whatever else. We talking, you know what I'm saying? If we talking to the
Yep.
guys, we talking to the guys. But if somebody do something that we know not right, or like if somebody get to talking business, we can bang with the best of them. It's like a
Yeah.
switch that'll go off,
It's a
like,
switch.
because it's a switch. Like, wait, what? And then you know what I mean. So, and I'll say this: being a better version of yourself and maintain your identity. My boy Ken, I met Ken through my boy Swain. Ken, and you're gonna get to meet Ken. Ken Townsend is right now killing the game in Northwest Indiana, and Gary on when we talk about in the real estate game, killing it. Actually, you have met him when we came down there in Houston, but either or, he told me something this past summer like, G White, man, I like talking to you because we could talk business like we
Yeah.
talking, but we also could talk that other talk too.
Yeah. You
You
can
know what I'm
talk that
saying? He
other
said,
talk too.
he like, and I can't do that with everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's like, man, we can still handle the business first,
Yeah.
and we can still talk that other talk. And I'm like, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
That,
That's how that's
that's
how
what it's about, bro.
that's how my brother is, man. Like this right here reminds me of my brother, because if I mention Buddha to a lot of people, they're gonna be like Buddha from the 90s, whatever. He is not like that. He's
No,
still hot. He's still hot. It get hot headed, but like, man, night and day. And the growth is immaculate. I mean, my brother, he's on a whole different level, man. Like it's amazing, man. Just a whole different level. And I think that it's the true definition that you can better yourself. But he ain't changed. He ain't changed nothing about like his identity.
he's
He
he's a
still call
better
himself
version of
Buddha
himself,
G.
bro.
He's still a
Yeah,
that's just him. And you could take it the wrong way, think, oh, he's a but no, he's not. He's just that's his culture. See what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
absolutely. That's definitely a big key takeaway.
so yeah, and then we got that right, and then this is the final right here that we got to give you for this session. Is always the action item. We got to get you to do something that you take away from this, but I want you to do something as well. I, I promise I want, after every one of these sessions, I want, if somebody we know that's gonna watch these and is gonna get better every time. So the action item for today is write down some things that you are willing to change about yourself in order to become the best version of yourself. Okay. Every
And
time you see these action items, you got to write them down, because that's the way it sticks in your brain.
yeah, and only you can answer those questions, right? Be honest with yourself when you sit down and you write these things down. I've made some of the biggest decisions in my life writing them down so I can actually see it, right?
Yeah.
See it and know the benefit of it. Be honest with yourself when you're writing some of these things down that you're willing to change, right? In order to become the better version. It could be, I mean, I'm gonna eat healthier because I want to look better and feel better and I want better health. It could be anything. I want to go back to school, or I want to take up a trade, or I want to do this, anything. I want to start going to bed on time. I want to start waking up early. I want to start anything. I want to start reading. I want to start writing. I want to start tapping into podcasts like this to where people are talking
Anybody's
about
podcast.
change.
Hey, shout out Sessions with Swaggy, by the way.
Yeah, yeah,
Sessions with
yeah.
Swaggy, by the way. That's my guy, man.
Yeah, we
And
seen you. Hey, yeah,
I
yeah,
want
yeah,
I want pause I want to pause this for a second, because I love to see. That's what I'm talking about, man.
yeah.
I promise we could do it in the hood. We can do it.
We
We so
can.
smart that it's like put it on the shelf. Like put it on the shelf and put it on display. That's what I'm saying. Why put it on the shelf? Not put it on the shelf and put it away. Put it on the shelf and put it on display. Let it shine. I promise I want a lot more people to start doing this. Just take your talents and just do something. Just try it. You know what I'm saying? I might not. I ain't really been on Facebook that much, but I'm back because I got a purpose. But I've been watching Swaggy sessions with Swaggy. Tron keep me updated on that, and I like what everybody doing, man. So
I love it. I
yeah,
love to see it, bro. I love to see it. I love to see it. You know what I mean? I tapped in with him last night on it, and it's love, genuine love. These are people we all
yeah,
grew up together, and I love to see not even just the people we grew up with, but people, period, going after something. Right?
yeah. Get
Stop
after it.
all that
Yeah,
talking. I love to be around somebody that don't
yeah,
mind walking. Right?
yeah, man.
I
That
don't care if you're walking fast. I don't care if you all the way to your destination
you
yet.
gotta try
You ain't sitting
something.
still. You not sitting still. You know what I'm saying? And it obviously when you somebody
See,
from home is doing something, it hit
yeah,
different because I know us and I know what it took and what it take. And for us to kind of this is like Stars TV, right? This is like watching cable TV. You flipping your
yeah,
because everything ain't for everybody. So you
yeah,
know, okay, I can tap in with this podcast
yeah.
and and and,
Because everybody got
get
their own lane.
and get my spiritual food. I could tap in with that podcast to get my spiritual food, or they talking
Yeah,
sports over here, or they
yeah,
talking hot topics of the day over here, or they and I love to see it because to me, guess what? These people ain't dead and these people ain't in jail. These people
yep,
are alive and thriving and they trying. And that's
yep,
what it takes right there. You ain't gonna get nothing if you don't try. And I just love to see it, bro. I'm glad you brought up that point because every time I
yeah,
tap into any one of them podcasts or any one of my friends' podcasts, I try to like it, I try to share it, I try to follow it because I say, man, that's
yep,
somebody that's trying. That's a go-getter. That's
yep,
somebody that's actually putting some action behind the stuff they talk about. Because
yep,
you just talking, you're gonna lose me real quick because I'm asking, so what you doing about that?
yep,
What you doing about it? You know what I mean? What you doing about it? And you see, me and you have to do that with each other. We've been talking
yep.
about this podcast
But man, I
for a
want to tell. I
while.
want before you got in that accident. I told you I bring it up to you all the time, but I've been trying to do this podcast for years. I had this equipment for years, so I think that. But everything happens time, place, reason by God, and because I wasn't in the state of mind back then,
No.
you know,
And I
this
and I
content
might
that we got, yeah,
and I may have been somewhat right, but now it's more of a matured me. So mine is a little
yeah,
different. I have over 55 when I got out of college, and we're gonna definitely spend some time on this one, but I will touch briefly on it. You know, when I got out of college, I really want to help my people. Same purpose we got today.
yeah,
So everything I learned about leadership, everything I learned my step of the way, I was recording videos every single day about management, money, everything, leadership, everything just for people, practices of life. You know what I mean? Getting in shape, working out, doing all of that. And you know, I had 55 videos before I stopped. 55. And I think I stopped recording stuff like that in probably 2014. So about 10 years ago.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And look, it felt right to get back on that horse. And now we're doing it from a little bit more of a mature standpoint, got even more experience under our belt, right? So yeah, we're still learning, but now we're talking with some experience now too. And
yeah,
you know what I mean? It felt like no better time to do it now. And tell anybody that if you sitting there at home, like, man, what should I do? Or this, that, and the third, or whatever, do it now. Don't wait till 6 months, 6 years. Don't wait.
get
You know what I
started
mean?
now.
Because we got to the point to where we was gonna do this, whether we was gonna do it
Yep,
together or not.
yep,
I'm not waiting on you, and you ain't waiting on me, but we could do this thing together.
yep,
So I encourage everybody
yep.
I encourage you, put your best foot forward and go after whatever you're talking about. And if you fail, it ain't really a failure because you're still trying, and you did more than what some people did. Some people were born, live, and gonna die, and then tried nothing. They just talked about
I got
everything.
this. I got this one thing I read in the book. It said if you look in the graveyard, it's not just full of deceased people. It's full of untold stories and untapped potential. So
Facts.
people could all those people had stories to tell. They didn't put it in no book. They didn't put it in no type of media. They didn't do whatever build that business that they was gonna build. They kept, it's just I don't want to be like that. I don't
No.
want to be like that. I want to and shout out to my aunt Wanda McCoy, the real McCoy. She gave me the vision for my IOU moment was create value. Stop chasing the dollars and you know look for value and influence. So Yeah.
Man, good talk today, brother. Good talk.
Yes, sir. We're gonna see you in the live session. We live and direct again Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Central.
Yes,
Guest
sir.
speaker.
See y'all.